for our health to fast some days. So today is the happy Amlaki Ekadasi. I think we should hear the glorification so that will give us the impetus to fast nicely. And the main business for fasting that we don't use any energy for anything else with chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra more and more. So the glories of Amlaki Ekadasi is King Mandhata once said to Vasistha Muni, O great sage, kindly be merciful to me and tell me of a holy fast that will benefit me eternally. Haribol. What a nice inquiry. So Vasistha Muni replied, O king, kindly listen as I describe the best of all fast days, Amalaki Ekadasi. And my Guru Maharaj used to say, proper listening means after listening, whatever you at least like, dwell on it and put in practice. That's called hearing properly. And that's what they are asking us. Hear it. Innumerous wealth gets free of the effect of all kind of sins and attains liberation. Fasting on this Ekadasi is more purifying than donating 1,000 cows in charity to a poor Brahmana. So please hear me attentively as I tell you the story of a hunter who, though daily engaged in killing innocent animals for his living, achieved liberation by observing a fast on Amalaki Ekadasi, following the prescribed rules and regulations of worship. Haribol. The kingdom of Vaidisa. There was once a kingdom named Vaidisa, where all the Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaisyas, and Sudras were equally endowed with Vedic knowledge, great bodily strength. Haribol, so many people feel weak. And fine intelligence, not just material intelligence, but fine intelligence. O lion among kings, the whole kingdom was full of Vedic sounds. Haribol. Not a single person was atheistic, and no one sinned. What a glorious association that time. And the ruler of this kingdom was King Pashabinduka, a member of the dynasty of Shoma, the moon. He was also known as Chitrarath and was very religious and truthful. It is said that King Chitraratha had the strength of 10,000 elephants. And then he was very wealthy and knew the 6 branches of Vedic wisdom perfectly. Haribol. During the reign of Maharaj Chitrarath, not a single person in his kingdom attempted to practice another's dharma. In Bhagavad Gita says that even though you know someone else's duty perfectly well, we should not do this. So perfectly engaged in their own dharmas were all Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaisyas, and Sudras. You know, there is an instruction that the Jagdishanand Pandit has given, and I think I would like to see this instruction. Somebody can take up. I think I have posted on the WhatsApp also. Wonderful instructions for Grahasa. Somebody should put some artistic little design and make 8 by 10 pamphlet. My desire is to laminate, and wherever I go next time for the Japa retreat, I would like to give them. And I would like to keep on the desk of where I chant to remind us. Over there it says that the primemost duty of the Grahastha is to perform their dharma according to our nature, not to take up any kind of business just to make money. Wonderful instructions. And so all this, they were engaged, perfectly engaged in their own dharma. That is important. Neither miser nor pauper was to be seen throughout the land, and never was there ever a drought or flood. Indeed, the kingdom was free of disease, Haribol, and everyone enjoyed good health. Hope that we have the ruler like this. The people render loving devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Vishnu, as did the king, who also rendered special service to the Lord Shiva. Moreover, twice a month, everyone fasted on Ekadasi. Quote, in this way, O best of the kings, the citizens of the Vaidisa lived many long years in great happiness and prosperity. Giving up all varieties of materialistic religion, they completely dedicated themselves to the loving service of the Supreme Lord Hari. What to speak of these leaders now, ruin everything. We have no hope from those personalities. We have to remain vigilant by our own strength. And we are physically weak. We are misguided. We are unfortunate. And on top of everything, we are always disturbed about something. This is the characteristic of the age of Kali. So, once in the month of Falgun, February, March, the holy fast of Amalaki Ekadasi arrived. Conjoined with Dwadasi, King Chitrarath realized that his particular fast would bestow especially great benefit. And thus, he and all the citizens of the Vaidisa observed this sacred Ekadasi very strictly, carefully following all the rules and regulations. After bathing in the river, the king and all his subjects went to the temple of Lord Vishnu. What a nice scene we can visualize. What a great scene would be. Where on Amlavaki, tree grew. First the king and his leading sages offered the tree a pot filled with water, as well as a fine canopy, shoes, gold, diamonds, rubies, pearls, sapphires, and aromatic incense. We can't afford anything. Then they worship Lord Parshuram with these prayers. Quote, O Lord Parshuram, O son of Renuka, O all-pleasing one, all liberator of the worlds, kindly come beneath this holy Amlaki tree and accept our humble obeisances. Then they pray to the Amlaki tree. O Amlaki, O offspring of Lord Brahma, you can destroy all kind of sinful reactions. Please accept our respectful obeisances and these humble gifts. O Amlaki, you are actually the form of Brahman, and you were once worshipped by Lord Ramchandra himself. Whoever circumambulates you is therefore immediately freed of all his sins. Good. After offering these excellent prayers, King Chitrarath and his subjects remain awake throughout the night. It's unfortunate that it's fall on the weekdays. If it has fallen the Friday or Saturday, we should have taken up this challenge. Praying and worshipping according to the regulations governing a sacred Ekadasi fast. It was during this auspicious time of fasting and prayer that a very irreligious man approached the assembly. A man who maintained himself and his family by killing animals. Burdened with both fatigue and sin, the hunter saw the king and the citizens of Vaidisa observing Amlaki Ekadasi by performing an all-night vigil fasting and worshipping Lord Vishnu in the beautiful forest setting, which was brilliantly illuminated by many lamps. The hunter hid nearby, wondering what this extraordinary sight before him was. Haribol. So this fortunate hunter, he was thinking, what is going on here? He thought what he saw in that lovely forest beneath the holy Amalika tree was the deity of Lord Damodar being worshipped upon the asana of a water pot. And he heard the devotees singing sacred song describing Lord Krishna's transcendental form and pastimes. Despite himself, that staunchly irreligious killer of innocent birds and animals, spent the entire night in great amazement as he watched the Ekadasi celebration and listened to the glorification of the Lord. Soon after sunrise, the king and his royal retinue, including the court sages and all the citizens, completed their observance of Ekadasi and returned to the city of Vaidisa. The hunter returned to his hut and happily ate his meal. In due time, the hunter died. But the merit he had gained by fasting on Amlaki Ekadasi and hearing the glorification of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as well as by being forced to stay awake all night, made him eligible to be reborn as a great king and with many chariots, elephants, horses, and soldiers. His name was Vasurat, the son of King Vidurat, and he ruled over the kingdom of Jayanti. So King Vasurat was strong and fearless, as effulgent as the sun, and as handsome as the moon. In strength, he was like Sri Vishnu, and in forgiveness, like the earth itself. Haribol, we walk on the earth, and we are so sinful wherever the human being walk on the grass, that grass even cannot survive by touching our sinful feet. Very charitable and ever truthful, King Vasurat always rendered loving devotional service to the Supreme Lord Sri Vishnu. He therefore became very well versed in Vedic knowledge, always active in the affairs of the state. He enjoyed taking excellent care of his subjects, as though they were his own children. That is another duty of a grahastha, is always be merciful to all other living beings and help them whichever way you can help. That's the duty of the householder. We should have no envy about anybody. Otherwise, our destiny will be horrible. So always active in affair of the state, he enjoyed taking excellent care of his subjects, as though they were his own children. He disliked pride in anyone and would smash it when he saw it. That type of governing people should be. He performed many kinds of sacrifice and he always made certain that the needy in his kingdom received enough charity. What a wonderful kingdom. One day, while hunting in the jungle, King Vasurat strayed from the footpath and lost his way. Wandering for some time and eventually growing weary, he paused beneath a tree and using his arm as a pillow, fell asleep. As he slept, some barbarian tribesmen came upon him, and remembering their long standing enmity toward the king, began discussing among themselves various ways to kill him. Quote, it is because he killed our fathers, mothers, brothers in law, grandsons, nephews, and uncles that we are forced to aimlessly wander like so many madmen in the forest. So saying, they prepared to kill King Vashurat with various weapons, including spears, arrows, 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 spears, arrows, spears, sapped their strength, and before long they lost what little intelligence they had and become almost unconscious with bewilderment and weakness. Suddenly, a beautiful woman appeared from the king's body, startling the aborigines, decorated with many ornaments, emitting a wonderful fragrance, wearing an excellent garland around her neck, her eyebrows drawn in a mood of fierce anger, and her fiery red eyes ablaze. She looked like death personified. With her blazing chakra discus, she quickly killed all the tribal hunters who had tried to slay the sleeping king. Just then the king awoke, and seeing all the dead tribesmen lying around him, he was astonished. He wondered, quote, these are all great enemies of mine. Who has slain them so violently? Who is my great benefactor? At that very moment, he heard a voice from the sky. Quote, you ask that who help you? Well, who is that person who alone can help anyone distressed? He is none other than Sri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He who saves all, who takes shelter of him without any selfish motive. So devotional service would be with no selfish desire, just to please the Lord. Upon hearing these words, King Vasurat became overwhelmed with love for the personality of God as Krishna. Hope that we may become enlivened. He returned to his capital city and ruled there like a second Lord Indra, king of the heavenly regions, without any obstacle at all. So, what is the conclusion? That therefore, O King Mandata, the Venerable Vasishtha Muni concluded as follows. Anyone who will observe this holy Amlaki Ekadasi will undoubtedly attain the supreme abode of Lord Sri Vishnu. So great is the religious merit earned from the observance of this most sacred fasting day. So this ends the narration of the glories of Falgun Shukla Ekadasi or Amlaki Ekadasi from the Brahman Purana. And there is a note where to find that Amralaki tree. Our Acharya advised, if the Amarlaki tree isn't available, then worship the sacred Tulsi tree. Also plant the sacred Tulsi seed and offer lamps to her. What a wonderful day today to observe this Amlaki Ekadasi. We pray that we all remain steadfast, reduce all other activities, actually whatever is needed for our body, and utilize those moments for the spirit soul. Our day will become successful, and we will remain like that kingdom that we heard the glories. If we remain attached to the service of Krishna with no motives in our mind and heart, despite this crazy, rotten material world, you can live very, very happily with no fear in your life, and every moment you can relish. So we have 5 more minutes, and I think that little bit was left on chapter 39, the title Prayer by Akrura, very wonderful prayers. So we will just read a few lines. Being bewildered by such concept of life, I'm always absorbed in thoughts of duality, heat and cold, honor and dishonor, happiness and distress. We will go through this as long as we remain on a bodily platform. And that's why Rupa Goswami has given the nectar of instruction. And first thing, Vacho Vegam Manasaha Krodha Vegam. And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj in the purport beautifully says that material identification comes through the uncontrolled senses. Give up too much eating, give up too much sleeping. We don't need that much rest. Actually, if we sleep more, actually we get the ache in the body. It's not advisable. And unless and until we become conqueror of these demands and urges of the senses, the external energy of Krishna Maya Devi will never leave us alone. So this is a wonderful, he is giving that example. And I've forgotten you, who are reservoir of all transcendental pleasure. I'm bereft of your transcendental association, and just like a foolish creature who goes in search of water in the desert. This is what our situation is. Leaving the water spot which is covered by water-nourished vegetables. The conditioned souls want to quench their thirst, but they do not know where to find the water. They give up the spot where there is actually a reservoir of water and run into the desert where there is no water. Very well. What a nice explanation Akrura is giving us to wake us up from this illusory life once and for all. My dear Lord, Akrura continued, I'm completely incapable of controlling my mind. He's representing us, not himself. He's a great devotee, which is now driven by the unbridled senses and is attracted by fruitive activities and their results. If we analyze our life, that's where 96% of our life goes. Haribo. My dear Lord, your lotus feet cannot be appreciated by any person in the conditional stage of material existence. And that's the reason we have not yet created attractions to give up this nonsense attachment once and for all and take complete shelter of the holy name and the lotus feet of Krishna. But somehow or other, I have come near your lotus feet, and I consider this to be your causeless mercy upon me. We should feel that we should feel so fortunate. Somehow or other, we have come in contact with a beautiful disciplic succession where they have exemplary shown through their life. We can attain perfection in one life. Up to us how serious we want to be. You can act in any way because you are the supreme controller. I can thus understand that when a person becomes eligible to be delivered from the path of repeated birth and death, it is only by your causeless mercy that he further progresses to become attached to your causeless devotional service. So Akrura fell down before the Lord, and he is saying again, "O my dear Lord, your transcendental eternal form is full of knowledge. Simply by concentrating one's mind upon your form, one can understand in full knowledge everything that be, because you are the original source of the knowledge." And that's why when we take a darshan of the deities or any pictures that we like of Krishna, we should imbibe in our heart and meditate upon them. And that because you are the original source of knowledge, you are the supreme powerful, possessing all kind of energies. If we take shelter of him, as I said, normally I said, we are utilizing only 9% of the ability Krishna has given us. 91% of our ability we have untouched because we are going away from Krishna. Like it's explained, where there is a reservoir of water is right in front of us. We don't care for it. And we go further in the desert to look for the water. That's our life. We are so full, especially myself. So he's saying that you are the supreme Brahman and the supreme person, supreme controller and master of the material energies. Devi hiya sagunmai mama maya durataya. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. Very, very difficult to cross over the spiritual energy of mind called Maya. But if one takes sincere surrender at my lotus feet, they will cross over very easily. I offer my respectful obeisances unto you because you are Vasudeva, the resting place of all creation. How nice that altar is, you know. Everything, no worries, no suffering, no disease, no death, no birth. What a glorious situation. You are the all-pervading Supreme Personality Godhead, and you are also the Supreme Soul residing in everyone's heart and giving directions to act. But we keep our eyes closed. We don't want to hear. Every morning I say, please give us the intelligent Krishna, that we can understand the message that you are trying to give us by what we have to go through day to day in our life. But we cannot understand his message. Day after day, he is trying to give us the message, but we neglect. And we feel by working on our own, we will find some solution for our trouble. Here, Akrura is giving us the real solution. You are all pervading Supreme Personality Godhead, and you are also the Supreme Soul residing in everyone's heart and giving directions to act. Now, my Lord, I am completely surrendered unto you. Please give me your protection. Hope that this prayer may sit in our mind and heart throughout the day. So thus end the Bhaktivedanta purport of the 39th chapter of Krishna prayer by Akrura. So tomorrow we'll be reading about chapter 40, where Krishna is entering Mathura. What a wonderful scene and exchanges we will see. So with those thoughts, always remain happy, jubilant, and totally fearless. And whoever you come across, give them a kind word that that life can also become successful and with no fear in their life, no disease, no suffering, no cancer. So with those thoughts, I would like to offer my humble obeisances at the dusk of these wonderful devotees who take austerity every morning to join and support us from Connecticut, New Hampshire, Aurora, Illinois, New York, New Jersey, Cottondale, Virginia, Boston, Boise, Atlanta, Phoenix, Tempe, Austin, College Station, San Jose, Portland, Dallas, Detroit, Chicago, Naperville, Philadelphia, Charlotte, Baltimore, Baton Rouge, Alachua, Orlando, Jacksonville, Ohio, St. Louis, Loganville, Georgia, San Diego, Alaska, Maine, Ottawa, New Orleans, Laguna Beach, Vancouver, Toronto, Calcutta, New Delhi, Jammu Kashmir, and from Houston. Vanchakalpatarubhasya